And that brings us to our bug of the log. Bug of the log. What? A bug of the log at the beginning of the video? What's with that? And what's with the new look? I gotta keep you guys on your toes so you never know what's gonna happen. Anyway, this bug came up when I was creating a cutscene for the game. It was actually the first cutscene that I made. Basically, you and your group of friends get threatened by a dude and all your friends run away. I was doing some testing of the scene, and when I hit play, my NPCs did run away, but they like ran into each other, and then like they faced each other, and then they like started dancing, and then obviously I got FOMO and I wanted to join in. The solution to this problem was pretty simple. When their scripts get activated, their box colliders shrink down. So when they're running, it's much harder for those box colliders to like hit each other and spin them around. So it worked out. Bug of the log. I guess I'm gonna have to call this Devlog 3 and 4 because I missed last month's upload. I made giant strides establishing the setting of the game and getting the core gameplay working with all of the NPCs. But instead of just talking about it, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start my game from the beginning, and while I'm playing it, I'll provide some commentary so you can see all the progress that I made in the last couple of months. Let's jump in. All right, let's play. Boom. All right, so we're on top of a mountain. The camera's pushing in, that's our cabin. I've still got some work to do on this scene. Now we're inside the cabin and you're moving into the head of the main character that you play as. And this is our cult leader. Thank you for all your hard work and your commitment to our future. And then it says space to go ahead. So we will go ahead. Obviously, our transition from the old world into the new will have many challenges. But you've shown you have strength, tenacity, and gusto. After the old world burns and becomes nothing but ashes and dust, we are going to... What do we have here? Did you hear that? Let's investigate. So this is the first scene that I created in Unity with the timeline feature. And so it looks like we have a guy. I think I'll just summarize. The guy on the left, he wants to join the group. And the guy in the blue, the leader, he doesn't want to let the other dude join. I wouldn't let him join either. I mean, look at him. He's all like, he's bald and he just like looks really funny, and I just like, I wouldn't trust him. Anyway, so we'll skip forward. Basically, your leader has told him off and he's not having it. I'll never get rid of my sword. And if you won't let me join, I'll never forgive myself for letting you live. That escalated quickly. Whoa, he's chasing him. Your gun is in your tent. Oh, okay. Whoa. More are coming. More are. Well, I don't know what to say. I'll fast forward. Basically, he asks you to go get some weapons. All right, he gives you some money. So this is what I really like about the timeline feature. You can make it really cinematic, like it started on the bus, it pulls out. It adds a little bit to the game. All right, let's move. How do I open this? Oh, E. Cool. So this arrow is pretty cool. I had to use a tutorial to figure out how to put it into the game. But then once I did the basic tutorial, then I was able to branch off of that. And instead of just pointing it at my main target, which is the gun store, I wanted the player to stay on the road. So I put up a bunch of little checkpoints that you have to drive over so that it'll point you to the next checkpoint. But we should be getting close to the gun store. Yeah, right there. I'll probably put a sign or something that says, gun store, E to open doors. Let's open it up. Boom. All right, here's another scene. We walk into the gun store. This is John Coffee. He's a crusty old dude. He's one of my favorite characters. You can't even see his mouth. He hasn't shaved in like 30 years. Maybe I should do that. Anyway, he's crusty. He's pointing a gun at you. And this actually was the first scene that I ever did UI in, so it was a really good learning experience. I'm really happy with how these arrows turned out. They like fade in and fade out, and they show that there are 8 different options from which to choose. So I think they're pretty cool. Another thing that I like is this. It says leave shop, but it's locked. So I wouldn't want you to leave without actually having bought the guns. So let's see, how do we do that? Go back, you say I'm looking to purchase a weapon. That pops up. We have some locked boxes over here. So you were given $2,500 and you need 5 pistols, 500 each. Easy. Yeah, this guy's super crusty. Let's see. If you just stare at him. Quit eyeballing me, boy. All right, so let's go ahead and leave the shop. All right, I'll just fast forward through the driving part. All right, almost, oh, this looks different. Space to hop the fence. Okay. So now we're coming into like the third cutscene that I made for the game. The first couple of cutscenes that I made, they always happen at the start of a scene. So basically you hit play and then the cutscene starts. But now we're in the middle of the scene and I had to figure out a way how to like transition into a cutscene in the middle of the game. So basically there's a collider up here that once you touch it, you lose control of the player, like I'm not touching it, and it leads into the cutscene. They say thanks for grabbing the weapons. They put up a fence while you were gone, and they say that it should help with keeping out the unchosen. The unchosen. So they say that none of them have touched a gun, so you have to teach them. So you guys head over, they set up some targets. And that's it, they're all pros. I mean, it's not realistic, but it's a video game. Now we're getting into the core gameplay loop. All right, 5 days to the end. I won't play through the whole level because that would make for quite a long video. I'll just be showing some of the highlights. So here's another tutorial for the player so they know about the different pickups available. If you have a yellow syringe, you can cure yourself by pressing the C key. This will give you full health. Or you can treat your fallen friends by pressing the T key. Do your best to revive all your friends before the wave ends. The first thing you'll notice is that when the first enemy is spawned, the NPCs flock in that general direction. Look what happens when shots start firing. Those guys choose another target and run in that direction. Before I implemented this, the NPCs used to stay in one area, which resulted in the enemies only going to that one area. I wanted to fix this because, first off, when NPCs shoot their friends in the back, no damage is done to the enemies. Another reason I fixed this was because I wanted to force the player to have to move around the area. So now when an NPC shoots another NPC, it chooses the target that's farthest away from it and the NPC goes in that direction. And now you can see that the player is forced to move around to pick up items, help your friends kill the enemies, and revive your friends. This is exactly what I wanted, a dynamic game that's never the same experience twice. There's a countdown in between waves. During this time, you have to revive any of your dead friends before the next wave, or they will be dead for the rest of the game. And if you find you're ready for the next wave early, you can skip to the next wave. The ability to revive your friends was something that I wanted to have in the game since the beginning. This feature turned out to be the most difficult challenge of development so far. There are multiple systems communicating with each other, and it was a complex problem to solve. But I'm super proud of how it works because I figured it all out on my own. I remember the first time that I tested the feature. It actually worked on the first try, and honestly, I was super shocked that it worked. Usually when I put something new in the game, it turns out like... The revive system resulted in 2 accidental features that I didn't anticipate. The first accident is that you're able to heal your friends from afar. What this means is you can be in your friend's revive circle when they're dead, and even if you have no health syringes, you can hit T to treat your friend. He won't pop up at that time because you don't have any health syringes, but he will when you get a health syringe in your inventory. This is great because you don't have to run back to your friend and heal him after you've picked up a syringe. Another accidental feature that I discovered is that when you're healing your friends, you don't take damage. This is because I use a circle collider to detect when you're close enough to heal them. When you're inside the circle collider, enemy bullets don't get in and your bullets don't get out. I could change this, but I like the idea of the player not having to worry about taking damage when they're trying to heal their friend. You can still use the bus to kill enemies, and this is helpful for when you run out of ammo and there's none that you can pick up. But I don't want the player to be able to exclusively use the bus throughout the level, so I'll need to implement some sort of bus health system. Then the player will have to be strategic about how they use the bus. Well, that's all the progress I made in the last couple of months. Now it's a matter of just continuing. I've got to do more days, so we started on day 5. It'll go 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I'll just ramp up the difficulty as it progresses, add a couple story elements in there. The goal for the next devlog is to put some sound in the game. If you want to be updated whenever future videos come out, go ahead and hit subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.